Live from Cary Stadium and the annual GA Game of the Week now. We bring you girls soccer action on this warm Friday afternoon. Corey Miller here along with Michael Von Zuben, bringing you the Episcopal Academy girls soccer game as they face off against the Germantown Academy Patriots. Mike, last time Episcopal getting the 4-0 win at home. Back here, GA looking to get a little bit of revenge today.
Yeah, exactly, Corey. I mean, it's easy to look at the score. Last game was 4-0, so obviously you look at that, you think maybe this won't be as competitive just like the last time, but again, it's interact soccer, and so anything can happen. You know, your guys are going to bring their A game. They're going to bring their A game, so it should be a competitive game, and I think, you know, it's a really good opportunity for GA to bounce back and hopefully turn this season more towards the right direction. For
Episcopal, we got their starters, Mai Namoli, the goalie, Aaron Cunningham, Julia Cunningham, Alex Capizzoli, Kendall Ellison, Morgan Stickley, Lauren Gage, Ava Roberts, Quinn Whitaker, Lainey McGonigal, and Natalie Magnata are the starters for them. For GA, they counter with Sage Batisto, Heidi Cross, Elizabeth Scheid, Alex Goodrich, Isabella Casey, Gianna Grasso, Kylie Orenstein, Kaylin Hassan, Jessica Kalecki, Taylor Weiss, and the senior captain, Caitlin Bolanzora, will be in net. As we are just about set to get things underway.
Yeah, Corey, last time we were up here, we saw the GA boys take on Hun in a really competitive game, so hopefully we can get that same energy for this week's Game of the Week.
Absolutely. It was great being up here. GA coming out with the 4-2 win against Hun last time we were up here. That was just our second Game of the Week, something we've kind of implemented this new fall season. It's gone really well now here covering girls soccer this past week, as they are led by Coach Chris Nelson in his 11th season as the girls' head coach. Has a career record at GA of 133, 70, and 26, and an Interact record of 70 and 26. And since he's taken over, 13 GA players have gone on to play in college.
Yeah, not easy to do there with that type of winning record. I mean, sure, you know, obviously I'm sure he's had some great players throughout the years, but you're not always going to get D1 talent, and so I think that definitely speaks to the job that he's been able to do. You can't just, no matter the players, it's hard to win that many games, especially in the Interact, so a lot of credit to him.
Also worth noting that under Nelson, GA won the Interact title in 2011 and the PESA championship in 2015. Nearly underway here from Cary Stadium on a really hot afternoon, over 80 degrees here in Fort Washington. For Episcopal, they come in at 8-2-1, 3-2-1 in the Interact. One of those 3 wins came against GA last time out at home, as both of these teams now kind of move into the second phase of their schedule. This is the second Interact game for both of these teams. Or excuse me, I should say the second game that, you know, GA's played Episcopal twice now. They haven't played any other Interact team twice. Same thing for Episcopal.
Yeah, second time around, really no matter the sport, what I've noticed, you know, watching Interact games throughout, you know, my career here at GA is the second time around, it's always a little bit more competitive. People make adjustments, and so this should be a really fun game to watch today.
Episcopal will have tap to start things out. Lainey McGonigal, the forward, will get things started. As we are officially underway here today, quickly booting it ahead was Captain Kendall Ellison as they played along the far sideline. Episcopal attacking the GA defense early. Here's a ball played through, and a nice job by GA to get that out. As a look to punch it forward, Kylie Orenstein did it, and then a block shot by Jessica Kalecki coming on Lauren Gage.
Already an early good sign for the Patriots. Number 10, Kaylin Hassan, is out there and playing. She was coming off a bit of an ankle injury. It was a little questionable how much she'd be able to play today or if she'd be able to play at all. So obviously a good sight for the Patriots already.
Well, that has been such a common theme, and unfortunately so for GAs. The amount of injuries that they have sustained this season. Lily Funk, Chloe Schweitzer, 2 of the notable players. And Kaylin Hassan along with Taylor Weiss, both playing today, but kind of playing through a bit of a few injuries. But good to see him out there today and healthy. Just underway here at Cary Stadium as Episcopal maintains possession in the GA zone as they work it back to midfield. So for GA, they enter play with a 3-6-1 record, looking for their first Interact win. They almost came away with one against Baldwin a few weeks ago. led 2-1 in overtime, and eventually Baldwin was able to tie things up with under a minute left in overtime, so game ended at 2-2. And GA coming off of the 1-5 in the Interac-only season last year. Looking to finish the season off on a strong note as it's Heidi Cross, senior, on the throw-in. Episcopal will boot it out. And Mike, GA has changed things up in the second half of the season so far. Originally playing a 4-3-3, now playing a 3-5-2.
Yeah, and what that tells you is that Coach Nelson has a ton of trust in those wing backs, or per se the guys that are going to be playing on the outside of that 5 across the midfield. What they have to do now is, now you're lacking that defender. So what they're going to have to do is they're going to have to constantly be following Episcopal's outside midfielder, up and down the field. So you're going to have to get a lot of legs out of them. They're going to have to play both good defense and good offense.
As Goodridge wins the 50-50 ball, tees up a shot for Sage Battisto, and she hit it just wide. Early opportunity for GA, and getting back to the formation change, Coach Nelson has talked about how good his defense has been. He even said that he's been surprised just how good they've been, but the problem for GA has been getting balls in the back of the net. Alex Goodridge has done a great job of doing that.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you got to do, is you got to rely on your strengths. And, he's trusting them that he's going to make this change, and it's going to make it a little thinner back there. But, he's got trust in his players. They can do their thing. And, obviously then massive trust in his midfielders to be up and down the field.
Ball
constantly.
played ahead to Goodridge, Mike. And she got a shot off, but a save by Namoli. And part of the issue has been, again, those injuries. Lily Funk, Chloe Schweitzer, two dangerous attacking players for GA. And they've had to kind of go on without them for a long duration of the season. As Capizzoli trying to track this ball down along the near sideline. Scheid eliminated the cross attempt, and now she boots it out of bounds.
Yeah, perfect example right there. You see her coming down and make sure she's tracking that runner on Episcopal, and she does her job there. She's able to get back in time. So if GA is going to have success in this game, you're going to have to see more of that tracking back ability.
Nelson has named Scheid as the best defensive player on this team. Says she wins a lot of one-on-one battles. This time it's Battisto getting the loose ball and booting it forward. Hassan in pursuit. It'll roll out of bounds, so Episcopal will be on the throw-in. GA will get the kick after Cunningham last played it. GA on the throw. That's Cross again. And her attempt went to Battisto, but she hit it back out of bounds. Something, Mike, we talked about a lot for the boys' game, but it's certainly relevant in the girls' portion of the Interac soccer, is that every Interac game just feels like a playoff game, and anyone can win, no matter what the current record is coming in.
Exactly. I mean, your goal is to win on a day-to-day basis. You play 10 Interac games, or in the girls' case, I think it might be a couple more, but every game it's so close, and games are always so close, records are always so similar that every game can kind of move you up or down in the table, and so that's why these games have so much emphasis.
I mean, a kind of statistic that proves that is in 2011, Coach Nelson's first year at GA. He led his team to an Interac title, though, but GA could not close the deal in the Pacer tournament. But a few years later, Episcopal Academy won the Interac in 2015, but GA didn't let that bother them, went into the Pacer tournament with a lot of confidence and came away with a Pacer tournament victory. So it's not always how you start, it's how you finish, and that's something that GA's coaches have preached to them. Trying to get back on track as Episcopal sends it to the far sideline. That was Gage who played it further. GA gets it right back. As Episcopal got a foot on it, Isabella Casey denied that through ball. And now they fight for it in the middle of the field. Ball went through, though. Trying to get it to the outside was Grasso. Loose ball squirts right to Bolanzura, who will pick it up and move things ahead for the Patriots.
Yeah, and I mean, this new formation for Coach Nelson is looking pretty good so far. Number one, Sage Battisto for the Patriots has done a really good job from what I've seen so far, tracking up and back. And GA's been able to keep that line nice and straight in the back, nice and tight, not a lot of gaps for Episcopal to exploit. So, if they keep playing like this, the offense should come, and I think the defense should be able to hold their own and give the offense enough chances to get it done today.
Yeah, the first half was not the problem for GA last time these two teams matched up. Only trailed 1-0 after 40 minutes of play. But Episcopal was able to tack on 3 goals in the second half. en route to a 4-0 win as we have just over 33 minutes left to play in this first half. Thank you for joining us here today. 0-0 so far as we play along the near sideline. Capizzoli on the kick, looking to spring her forwards. It trickles through. Episcopal will move up with it. As they move it along the far side, Cunningham has an opportunity, plays it in the box, but that eluded everyone. And eventually, Cross will get to it, will keep it in bounds, and we'll send it up to Battisto. Battisto can play both mid and forward, starting at midfield today as Episcopal will get the throw-in.
Yeah, I mean, players like that, especially at a time when GA's got a lot of injuries to deal with, players like that are absolutely the most valuable. So you're going to see a large role for her today for sure.
Yeah, Coach Nelson has said he really can't replace some of the injured players, but you can still find ways to kind of recreate the production they bring, and GA's done a great job. Underclassmen stepping up.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, obviously, you never want to see anybody get hurt, but, you know, the small blessing in disguise for Coach Nelson is he's going to get to see some of these younger players get up, get some time in the interact, especially against a really good team like Episcopal, and it'll just, I mean, the only thing it can do is prepare them for next year and the years to come. And
not only are these underclassmen for GA super talented, but they're getting so many reps, as you just said, Mike. As another offsides call in Episcopal, they're second in the last few minutes. And it'll be the GA kick. 32 minutes left in this first half. Episcopal's controlled time of possession so far, but no really meaningful shots as we're still tied up at 0. Through ball attempt here. That found Heidi Cross, who bounced it ahead. Episcopal sent it back in. This time it's Battisto bopping it up in the air as they fight for it now. Jess Kalecki there gets it to Taylor Weiss. Her one-touch pass was intercepted by Episcopal. And again, Cross will move it up for GA. Nice job by Julia Cunningham to trap it for Episcopal. Now it's Alex Goodridge. A nice move trying to find Hassan, but the pass went out of bounds.
A right idea there from Goodridge. Just run probably need to be started just a teensy bit sooner by Hassan. She might have been in there, but right idea there from Goodridge. Good play, good give-and-go play.
Goodridge is the team's leading goal scorer this year, doing a great job on the offensive side for GA. Senior forward captain. Has scored 2 goals in multiple games, including Shipley, Pennington, Baldwin, and Friends Central. Coach Nelson has emphasized that GA will look to get the ball to her quite often.
Yeah, I mean, that just proves your point about, you know, guys needing to step up. I mean, even if when they have a goal scorer, you know, like Goodridge, and, you know, she's been so prolific for them, they're still struggling to score a little bit. And so that just shows you that, you know, one player can't do it all, and they need as many people as possible to step up here.
They tried to find Goodridge there. Episcopal intercepted it, but GA gets it back. The header by Capizzoli moves Episcopal forward, a possible opportunity for them now. The look to get it in is Ellison, the senior, going to work against Scheid. GA was able to intercept that one, and as they move it to the outside, Laney Sani kicked it out of bounds, so Episcopal will look to capitalize on the throw-in. As Episcopal tries to work it into the box, Casey intercepted the pass for GA, and then they one-touched it ahead. That was Jess Kalecki as Episcopal now tries the near sideline. In pursuit is Ava Roberts, dropping it back, and Julia Cunningham will send one ahead. And that is the third offsides call, Mike, against Episcopal so far today.
Yeah, no, exactly what you want to see for GA. I mean, you know, with a thin back line, you need to have formation. And what a good formation will do for you is be able to force guys off sides. As long as there's no gaps, you know, that'll force EA to have to try to play those through balls more over the top. And, you know, as long as you hold a good line, you know, they won't be able to do that because they'll be offside. So well done there from GA.
That was Caitlin Bolanzura, senior goalie for GA, on the 6. Coming into the season, she had not played goalie at all throughout her high school career, but GA had a vacancy at the position, so she stepped up and has done a very nice job adjusting to the new position.
Yeah, nothing too easy about that, let me tell you. I've played before and seen guys try to switch the goalie, and it's not always a pretty sight. It's, you know, it's not as easy as just standing in there and saving balls. It's judgment calls. It's being smart with your feet, being able to handle the ball with your feet with some pressure when it comes back to you. So, you know, a lot of credit to her that she's, you know, still back there and she's still trusted a lot by her teammates.
She made several great saves in GA's last game against Penn Charter. And Coach Nelson has said that not only she's now saving the routine balls, but she's starting to save balls that are very difficult and you may not expect a rookie goalkeeper to save. As Episcopal holds on to it in GA territory. Play along the far sideline. Episcopal looking to strike with under 30 minutes now in this first half. One of the reasons GA was optimistic about this rematch against Episcopal was, one, they are playing on a shorter field today here at Carey Stadium than they did last time against Episcopal, and that's certainly important when you think about how limited GA's bench is with all those injuries, as a shot on goal here goes wide.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, just playing on a different field in general as well. I mean, if you practice on one field, you orient yourself on that field, and that's how you orient your spacing. So, especially positions like outside midfielders, they kind of go to a spot and know where they're supposed to be. And if you change a field that's, say maybe it's wider, you're disoriented for a little bit, and it takes you a little bit of time during the game to be able to get yourself in the right spot, know your spacing, know where the end line is, know where you are in relation to your other players.
Yeah, and you can just see, tuning into the game today, that Episcopal is a much larger bench than GA. That's mainly due to the GA's injuries. It's really stretched their bench, and that means a lot of these starters have got to play a lot of minutes. It tired GA out a little bit last time these two teams played. And, of course, GA is confident in this new formation that they hope to surprise Episcopal with. Cross on the lob. Nice header from Hassan to find Goodrich as she turns in with it. Now trying to switch fields and find Sani. Episcopal intercepted that as it trickles back to the defense, and Cunningham will boot it back up.
Yeah, first look there from Goodrich. That's the first time I've really seen either team really just, switch the field, maybe turn the other way from where everyone is and switch the field. So, the pass was a little off target. Maybe, go for a through ball there over the top. But that's certainly the right idea, and that'll definitely catch them off guard if they continue to try to do that.
Lainey Sani, freshman along the far sideline, slowing the pace down, looking to cross it, get into the box, but her pass found Episcopal. Ball bounced over everyone. Batista in pursuit, trying to keep it in bounds. She does as she goes to work against Episcopal along the far sideline. Avery Lee in defense. Now Jess Kalecki off of Cunningham. It comes right back to her, squirts it ahead, but that went past Batista and out of the back line.
Yeah, the only thing I would say so far, I'm liking what GA is doing with the formation. Just there's a little bit of a disconnect between the forwards, Hassan and Goodrich, and then the midfielders. Because, obviously with three in the back, they have, the midfielders' task. A majority of it is going to be having to track back. So, they just need to get up and back a little faster and kind of just, fill in that space in the midfield to make it easier to connect balls with their forwards. But other than that, it's been looking pretty good.
So GA looking to make a few adjustments on offense. Again, first halves have not particularly been their problem. Last game on Tuesday was against Penn Charter. They lost 2-0, but Penn Charter didn't score until there were about 33 minutes left in the second half. So GA held Penn Charter scoreless in the first half on Tuesday.
And already a slight moral victory here for GA so far. We're a little bit into good ways into this game now, and nothing, no major chances have happened for Episcopal. So I think they're proving that they can hang with them, and if they continue to do this, they should be fine. And they might not need to score 3 or 4 goals. They might just need that one.
Yeah, with 25 minutes left in this first half, already 3 offsides calls against Episcopal, as a handball against Taylor Weiss gets called. Free kick for Episcopal. With pace, Quinn Whitaker kicks it ahead. Grosso on defense looks to shield Episcopal out as they get into the box. A possible opportunity here, trying to get a foot on it. They could not. Batista does, and she'll clear it out for GA. Taylor Weiss in pursuit. As doing a nice job for Episcopal was Morgan Stickley, senior defenseman. As Episcopal works it back to their goalie. And now Cunningham moving ahead. This is Ava Roberts. Good passing from Episcopal as they look to go back on the attack.
Yeah, really nice build-up from the back there from Episcopal. All the way, defender originally had a little pressure, wasn't afraid to use her goalie. The goalie distributes it out, and really nice play through the midfield there to escape the GA players.
Kalecki looking to find the GA forwards. That's Sani along the far sideline. Episcopal just kicked it out, so GA gets a throw in. Jess Kalecki, Eleni Sani, 2 of these underclassmen, both freshmen, getting a lot of playing time for GA.
Yeah, I think, Coach Nelson said about Sonny that she's, one of the things he notices about her is her technical ability. And on a team where, you lack a little bit of goal scoring, you need that ability to maybe be able to beat a man. If you're not able to link as many passes together as you'd like, it's always extremely valuable to have a guy, that can beat someone one-on-one and create an opening or just go to goal.
Sonny playing forward today. Kalecki can play both mid and forward. Coach Nelson named her as a player to watch this year, but especially over the next 3 years at the center mid position as Episcopal takes care of the throw-in. Cross trying to move it back ahead as we get a whistle and a stoppage of play. Nelson has said Kalecki has already taken a central role in the team as a freshman. Very important part is that center mid position. As we get a look now at Heidi Cross on the free kick. Takes most of GA's free kicks and corner kicks. Very good at placing the ball. So an opportunity here from GA about 25 yards out. As Cross will send it up, looking for a man. That ended up trickling out of the back line. So nothing doing for GA on the early opportunity.
Yeah, good look, though. Really good in-swinging ball there from Cross. That's exactly how you want to hit it. That's obviously the place for a right-footed crosser to do it from that spot. The ball's curving away from the goalie, so you force her to make a decision on whether, am I going to come out, am I going to stay in? But really well placed there. Very easily, GA could have gotten ahead on it.
Certainly won't be easy getting it past Maya Namoli this year. Junior goalkeeper, returning starter from last year, an all-mainline honorable mention, and as a junior already committing to continue her soccer career at Ohio State University.
Yep, and all that means is it's going to take a pretty darn good shot to beat her. And that probably means it's going to take a couple shots because, the first couple shots might not be perfect. So, GA is certainly going to have to create a couple chances here if they want to net one in behind her.
She's an integral part of the team, already has a number of shutouts this year. That's the dangerous thing about Episcopal. They're solid both up front and in the back, and they have a lot of shutouts this year. Again, coming in at 8-2-1, 3-2-1 in the league. SCH has kind of been the team to beat in the girls' facet of the Interact this year. Undefeated league record and an undefeated overall record. Just one tie is the only non-win blemish suffered by them. They're in first place with the 7-0 record in the Interact.
Yeah, it's pretty rare to see a team like SCH. They were kind of like that last year as well, for the girls Interact. And you don't usually see one team consistently dominate the Interact. And not to say that they're dominating. I mean, it's kind of been this way for maybe 2 to 3 years only. But it's certainly been impressive what they've been able to do because it's extremely hard in a league this competitive to dominate.
A lob that Bolanzura takes care of now out of the net. She continues to push it further, and that's going to be GA ball. It's an early test for Bolanzura. She takes care of it with 20 minutes left to play in the first half.
Yeah, good awareness there by Bolanzura. Tough decision to make, a decision like we mentioned before that she's not usually in. She's filling in, so really good to see that.
Getting back to the whole Interact conversation, SCH has referenced Episcopal as their primary competition this year. No Interact champion declared last year due to the COVID pandemic, but SCH is the most recent champion, having won in 2019. So if they were to win again this year, they'd be the first repeat Interact champion in the girls' Interact since Penn Charter did it in 2013 and 2014. Again, GA trying to win their first Interact title since 2011. Batisto turns and fires. That finds Episcopal. Stepping up was Kalecki. Her head ball found Whitaker, who sends it up. Heidi Cross takes care of that. Batisto will keep it in and send a lob for Sani, as again Batisto will fire away, now looking for Alex Goodrich. Episcopal takes care of the high lob. Kalecki got it back to Casey, gets it right back. And now Episcopal on the loose ball as Batisto and Lee battle along the near sideline.
You'd maybe like to see just a couple times the ball's up in the air. Not when there's someone not around you like that, like in the situation that we've seen right here with Batisto a couple times. Maybe just instead of the one-time balls that you might just be kind of hoping to find a guy. It's good to just kind of take a touch. I think she does have time, so something to keep in mind maybe for Coach Nelson to mention at halftime.
Namoli came all the way out of the net to take care of the free kick that hit off of Scheid and dribbled out of bounds, so now a throw-in for Episcopal. This will be Julia Cunningham. He's had a nice game so far on the defensive end for Episcopal. Finds Kapazali, and now cross sends another lob for GA. Kalecki has a nice touch as she looks to get it ahead to Sani.
Well maneuvered right there.
The two freshmen on a nice passing attack as Sani now slows it down and finds her fellow freshman Kalecki. Physical play along the sideline, and that last touch GA, so Episcopal will be on the throw.
Yeah, you saw that technical awareness right there from Sani that Coach Nelson mentioned. The ability to, you're one-on-one with a guy. You might not be beating her with pace, so just kind of pull it back for a second, survey your options, and complete a pass instead of trying to go one-on-one, all by yourself down there in the corner where you're probably not going to win the battle. So good awareness right there by her.
GA putting pressure on Episcopal. EA doing a good job to hold on to possession. Scheid stepping up, got the loose ball, but Capozzoli was able to find a loose man. Taylor Weiss knocks a player down, trying to send it ahead. And we have a whistle. It's against Weiss, so Episcopal will get the free kick.
Good to see some physical play there. I mean, sometimes, when you're an underdog, that's what you got to do. You got to make your presence known and make it known that, you're going to, put a body on them if necessary. So you like to see that there from Taylor Weiss.
Taylor Weiss, one of these players playing through an injury, but she's done a great job, has been a member of the varsity squad since her freshman year. And she plays a variety of positions on the team, can really play anything defense, midfield, forward. She scored a goal for GA last year. And Coach Nelson has commented how strong she is on the ball. Seeing that just a few seconds ago is we tick under the 17-minute mark in this first half, still knotted up at 0. GA doing a good job defensively to take care of any threats that Episcopal has mounted. As Cross will set up the free kick for them. From just past the 45-yard line, went right to Episcopal. Now with speed, they bring it ahead. Morgan Stickley will send it up the far sideline. Grosso in pursuit. As GA looks to take care of that, Episcopal keeps it in. Maya Bright now with the save by Bolenzura on her shot. Nice job by the senior keeper. As Episcopal was able to get a shot off. Still knotted up at 0, though.
Yeah, good, important track back there, from Grosso. GA kind of got everyone up there on the free kick, everybody forward. So they kind of left it open for a pretty easy counter attack for Episcopal. So really important play there by Grosso to get back.
Capozzoli now on the through ball. Grosso hustles back to take care of that. Batisto's wide open at midfield, has room to bring it up. She's got Avery Lee in pursuit. Batisto still has time and will finally send one in Episcopal territory. That's Goodrich now tracking the loose ball, circling up top and now dishing it over. Looking to go back to Goodrich with a high shot. That'll go over the net. Nice job by Gia to create that opportunity, but Episcopal able to take care of it defensively as Kayla Sweeney comes in for GA. Comes in for Sani. Both Sweeney and Sani, very fast players offensively. Two important pieces this year and especially in the future for GA. As again, GA plays it ahead, but that went right back to Namoli, who will scoop it up.
Yeah, Sweeney, that Coach Nelson, says can bring a lot of speed to the game. So, good idea to have her come in now. About 14 and a half minutes left in the half. Legs are tired, so hopefully she can, surprise someone with her pace up there.
After Kalecki showcases the moves, Raven sent it back into Alex Goodrich. Episcopal took care of the opportunity there, though, as they played along the far sideline. Capozzoli in the middle of the field. As she plays the ball through, finds Cross, who dishes it ahead. And now Casey picks it up at midfield. Good defense from Episcopal as a look to send it back in. Now a foot race for it. That's Lee. Cross fell down, but a good recovery from Scheid to knock it away along the near sideline now. Casey fights for it. Dente was able to come away with it, not before Kalecki could poke it forward, though. Cross again, one touch, sends it up to Sweeney, looking to find Goodrich. But Episcopal again has the answer on defense. Capizzoli and Raven battle at the midfield as Kalecki will spring one ahead, and Namoli will hustle out of net to take care of this one. So some through balls for GA, Mike, but none of them have been particularly dangerous as we're still tied up at 0.
Yeah, it seems that that's the main approach that they're taking to try to get opportunities on goal. But like we talked about before, the workload that's being required right now of their outside midfielders is incredibly large. And you've seen at times, they've been able to get up, but I mean, honestly, at some points, it's almost going to be nearly impossible if they're all the way tracked back, down to their own, right around the 10-yard line. If they're up, the through balls are a good idea, but if not, you're probably going to have to find another way, maybe an aerial ball or something like that to kind of get through.
Coach Nelson kind of saying how GA originally at the start of the season was a possession-oriented team, now kind of changing to a counter-attacking team. And is with the good defense like theirs, not always necessary to get a ton of opportunities on net. You just got to capitalize on the few chances you have, and GA's certainly done that. There have been many games where maybe the other team has time of possession most of the game, but GA does a good job capitalizing on those opportunities. Alex Goodrich primarily has been the goal scorer for them, but only takes a few goals, and that's what they're hoping for today.
Yeah, and that's why I like to see a guy or a girl like Sweeney subbed into the game, because counterattacking speed is the most important tool. You don't necessarily need the skills to beat someone one-on-one or make someone look silly, but as long as you have speed, the counterattack is exactly what you're in there for. So you'd like to see a little more of players like Sweeney and of her skill set.
Episcopal on that last throw-in that GA finds, but gives right back to Episcopal with 12 minutes left in this first half as we get a whistle as Episcopal player went down. Kind of similar vibe, Mike, from this game that we got with the boys. Two teams kind of filling each other out early on. Eventually, Christian Combs put GA up 1-0, but neither team able to find the back of the net so far.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you watch the last game, a guy like Christian Combs, if you have a guy like him, it's almost hard for him not to score.
Yeah.
If you're able to put him in the positions like they were able to put him in. But it takes a while. I mean, for players such as him and such as Goodrich and Hassan up top, it's not as simple as just, handing them the ball and letting them do it. They have to make the right runs, and you have to play the right balls.
There was Sweeney on that last rush. She need one ahead that Episcopal was able to track down. And a foul on Capizzoli. GA will get the free kick as Cross hustles up to take that.
Speaking of Christian Combs, if you follow GA Sports, obviously congratulations to him on his commitment to Drexel. Very impressive, very good player. So if you follow GA Sports, I'm sure you've heard about that, so congrats to him.
Certainly was great news to see that Combs will be continuing his soccer career in college. Such a great player here at Germantown Academy. Both these boys and girls soccer teams at GA looking to finish their season on a high note. Batista doing a nice job along the far sideline trying to get it past Lee. And she wins that battle. It looks like, oh, never mind, it'll be Episcopal thrown. So ball went off Batista, and Lee will let Cunningham come up and take the kick. Speaking of ending on high notes, we asked Coach Nelson kind of what would it take for your team, in their view, to finish the season on a high note. He basically said to have a great GAPC day and then have a great state tournament as well. GA recognizing that no matter how the regular season goes, still get to participate in the state tournament, and they're looking to finish strong.
Yeah, obviously, I mean, you're looking for the best of both worlds because, obviously, if you recognize that you're in a bit of a rebuilding process, which, according to Coach Nelson, it seems like that's where they might be. Sometimes it can be about building momentum and just going into next year, so maybe not necessarily going all the way in the pace of tournament or in the Interact, but, at the same time, the seniors that he has have put, a ton of effort into him and into his program. So you kind of, obviously, it's about getting ready for next year and about all that, but at the same time, your goal is always to win because you owe it to the seniors that have put so much into this program.
Episcopal has it in the GA territory, but Bolenzura takes care of that opportunity. And for GA, Nelson said at the beginning of the season he was hoping his team would kind of gel as a young team as Interact season came along. And then that kind of got obstructed by the fact that GA's had so many injuries. So they've had to get used to new players multiple times. And that's kind of hurt them offensively as we've seen, but they've done a great job responding to adversity.
Yeah, I mean, and new players playing different roles. I mean, I think it's even more of that. You know, I mean, you can. It's much easier to go to a practice and kind of have a different player jump into the same role. You know, to sub someone different on doing the same thing. But if it's a player having to learn something completely different, that can be a different story, and it can take some adjustment.
Yeah, looking at our GA roster sheet, there's a lot of players who can play multiple positions. And that's certainly been needed given all of GA's injuries, as Episcopal has a corner kick now. Maya Bright will send it in. Episcopal looking to go ahead in this first half. Ball squirts all the way through, but a good job by Heidi Cross to find the loose ball and prevent any further damage from Episcopal.
Good awareness right there by Cross, noticing her keeper coming out of the net, as she should. She's got to go use her hands and get that ball, but good job by Cross to slide over and recognize that.
Episcopal quickly plays it right back in. Stepping up to take that was Magnata. As they work it around to the far side, Episcopal trying to get right back into the GA box. Grasso came away with the ball, squirted right back to Ellison. As she bounces one along the far sideline, that's Mia Raven in pursuit. Episcopal couldn't get there in time, so GA will look to head back on offense on the throw-in.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how GA approaches this final 7 minutes here in the half. Are they going to be a little more conservative? Because I think they would be happy to take a 0-0 tie into the locker room. I think they know they're doing some things well. Or would they try to kind of punch Episcopal in the mouth here and try to go ahead?
Something that probably should give them some confidence. When Episcopal played Penn Charter, they were up 4-1. Penn Charter was able to score 3 straight goals, battle back, force a tie, eventually in overtime. GA only allowed 2 goals against Penn Charter on Tuesday. So a possible bright spot, giving them some motivation, still tied up at 0. The throw-in trickles along. That's Goodrich trying to turn it around for GA. Casey got a foot on it. And now a through ball along the far sideline. Will not duck out of bounds as Episcopal does a good job to keep it in. Eventually Raven tipped it out. So Episcopal quickly on the throw-in, trying to move the pace of play along, it seems like, as they send a ball in that bounces right to Ballenzora. Couldn't pick it up on the first half. Cross on the clear, didn't get it through. And then GA eventually was able to there. It squirts right back out to Episcopal. Dangerous chance for them there.
Yeah, I talked about the approach at the end of the half for GA, but clearly I think we can see for Episcopal it's to get a goal here. So, GA, if they're going to hang back a little, they got to make sure they stay incredibly disciplined as to not let something bad happen here before the half.
They really have ratcheted up the pace of play as Cross was taken down along the near sideline. That draws a whistle. That was Avery Lee who took her down, so Cross will send it up with 5.5 left to play in the first half. Kayla Sweeney looking to win possession. She does and turns upfield. Will boot it ahead. That found Episcopal, who will send it back to the middle of the field. Capizzoli now working it through her defense. As now it's along the near sideline. That tipped off of Cunningham, who couldn't keep it in bounds. As GA will move up with the throw-in. Mentioned Heidi Cross a little bit earlier. One of the top returners for GA. She's committed to play lacrosse at Stetson University. And Coach Nelson has said that she's a relentless player in the middle of the field. We've seen that so far today, taking care of a lot of loose balls defensively. Trying to track this one down. She does a nice job of that. It squirts to Episcopal there, who will send it up further. Capizzoli's had a busy game at midfield today. As again, Heidi Cross takes care of that loose ball, trying to find Cunningham. She couldn't quite get to it. As stepping up was Ornstein. Episcopal still has it. Allison, the captain, doing a nice job. She works it along to Dempsey, who will play through. Scheid got a foot on it to eliminate any possible opportunity. And Ornstein was bumped along. That forced a loose ball. Scheid again quickly sends it ahead. and finds Sweeney, run into from behind, but Kayla Sweeney doing a nice job to fight through the physical contact and moves it up along the sideline and does a great job to keep it in. GA looking to capitalize. 4 minutes left in this first half. Eventually, though, ball is off GA, so a goal kick coming for Episcopal.
Yeah, he talked about Cross a couple seconds ago. I know we brought her up a couple times, but something that is clearly evident is just her ball pursuit as a defender. A lot of times as a defender, you're kind of told, be patient. If someone's coming at you one-on-one, kind of wait for them to make a move. But in a sense, you got to be able to do that, but you also got to be able to attack the ball as a defender and want the ball, want to win the ball, and clearly that's something she's been able to do so far.
After the head ball, EA wins back possession, but Raven intercepted that. Fighting for it along the far sideline. Gage tried to keep it in for Episcopal as they now send it back towards the middle of the field. Scheid stepping up for GA. Physical battle, she'll kick it out as Whitaker was on her back. And now Episcopal looking to switch fields, get on the board. As they circle around, send a sharp shot that Cross takes care of it. Squirts loose and heading out of bounds. We'll see who this was last touched by as it looks like GA. Scheid tries to keep it in and she'll send it up further for an Episcopal throw-in. Now under 3 minutes in this first half. Both of these teams sensing the urgency, trying to get a ball in the back of the net to end this first half. Casey now moving back, plays it out of the air. Will send it to the outside as GA looks to keep it in. They were not able to, so Episcopal will get another corner. This time it will be Ellison. Co-captain for Episcopal as GA takes care of that. They'll send it right back out. And so again, Ellison will take the corner. Bella Pacelli, Kendall Ellison, co-captains for Episcopal. As Ellison will send one in. This is a high arching kick. It goes over Bolanzura. Episcopal couldn't get a foot on it though, and we have a call by the referee.
I believe that was, I think someone made contact with Bolanzura there. I think that call might have been a little unclear, but I think that's what it was.
Certainly a dangerous looking corner kick off the foot of Ellison. GA again taking care of business though, haven't buckled once defensively so far. Minute and a half left to play. Bolanzura on the goal kick. Trying to find Orenstein. She bounced it ahead. It goes through her right here. Nice job on defense. Player goes down and we play on. As turning with it for Episcopal was Bridget Dempsey. Doing a nice job to fight on as she squirts one into the middle. Raven will punch it forward and then Casey will head it forward. As Episcopal looks to maintain the pressure. Raven took care of that last opportunity right there. As Goodrich sends it back to Casey, he will send it up looking for Taylor Weiss. Episcopal was able to slow it down with a head ball.
Good pressure from GA here before the end of the half, kind of returning the favor to Episcopal, which you'd like to see.
Now a ball along the far sideline. Opportunity for Episcopal. 30 seconds left in this game. Scheid doing a great job on defense, fending off Episcopal there. They get it in the middle for a shot that was blocked away by Orenstein. Looked like Episcopal wanted a handball call, though, and we don't get it as Orenstein a great job now to send this one up. We are still tied at 0 as Weiss shoves a player down there. That one drew a whistle. So we have under 20 seconds left, and Episcopal will get a free kick. Great job by Orenstein on that last Episcopal rush to take care of, not only block the Episcopal shot, but to clear the ball.
Absolutely.
As Episcopal just let the clock wind down. So after 40 minutes of play, we are tied up at 0 here from Carey Stadium on GA's Game of the Week. We'll be back with second half action after a quick break. just about set for second half action on GA's Game of the Week Friday afternoon. Corey Miller along with Mike Von Zubin. Tied up at 0 after 40 minutes of play. Mike, what have you liked from both of these teams? What do you think they need to do to get a goal and go ahead in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, if you're looking from the two coaches' perspectives, I think you're definitely more happy for Coach Nelson. Obviously, a more inexperienced team, a younger team, a team with, you know, some girls that, you know, haven't really started a bunch of games or logged a lot of minutes. So you're happy that you've been competitive in this game. And I think from, you know, the coach of Episcopal side, obviously, you know, you're not happy because you know you don't really feel like you've taken it to them yet. You're not up. You know, you created a couple chances, but they weren't phenomenal. And so I think definitely happy for Coach Nelson. So expect Episcopal to kind of really step it up here to start the second half.
Well, and again, the on-paper matchups mean absolutely nothing once the ball is in play. Episcopal beat Baldwin 7-0 a few weeks ago. GA tied them 2-2. But based off of the score today and the way both of these teams have played, you would never know that there was such a difference in the scores. As Grosso finds Casey trying to find Raven, she does. Chips it ahead, Taylor Weiss shoving a player away. As Episcopal will clear one up. That was Casey on the head. Both of these teams looking to capitalize offensively. For GA, goal scoring's kind of been the Achilles heel, but with that new formation we talked about a lot in the first half, I've certainly seen more offensive looks.
Yep, and it seems Coach Nelson's come out with the same formation. You still have the 3 back line back there, and you know, the 5 across the middle and the 2 up top. So no major changes, it seems, from Coach Nelson so far.
Yeah, against Penn Charter, GA had to adjust their formation, but that's because they went down in the second half. Still tied up here at 0. They haven't had to do so. An opportunity, a nice block by Scheid on the shot that came from Ellison. Another opportunity here goes wide, so nothing doing on this Episcopal opportunity. Bolenzura on the goal kick. That found Raven, who was then pressured there by Gage. Raven won that battle and turning ahead with it. She's taken down. That quickly draws a whistle. As Gage a little slow to get up, but it looks like she's okay.
Yeah, for GA, you definitely want to see more of that. You know, Episcopal players turning and chasing them, chasing the backs of the GA players. You know, GA's had to do a lot of work. They had to do a lot of work in the first half to get back, and so you know, definitely want to see more of the opposite happening here in the second half.
Cross will send the free kick up. Has done a nice job handling those this year. It finds the foot of an Episcopal player. Weiss takes care of that, but then Episcopal will move it ahead. At midfield, McGonigal takes her time as she has room to maneuver. She's going to try and send one up that Grosso took care of, but then cutting to the middle was Cunningham. And she faces off against Grosso, but now Episcopal in the middle of the field has it, trying to work it down low. That's Capizzoli shielding it away from Batisto. Now Taylor Weiss, loose ball for GA. Hassan in pursuit, and eventually the ball squirts out of bounds. So for Episcopal, they currently sit 4th in the Interact behind SCH, Notre Dame, and Penn Charter. They look to win their 7th Interact title. They could possibly really finish their season strongly this year. Since 1984, that's when the Interact records for girls soccer date back to. GA has won a total of 22 Interact titles, and that by far exceeds any other school. The next closest is Episcopal at 6. GA also holds the record for most consecutive Interact titles won in the girls' Interact soccer circuit, having won 17 straight from 1992 to 2008. Some of those are shared, but certainly an impressive statistic.
One small adjustment so far, you know, that seems for GA is sophomore midfielder Isabella Casey kind of playing more of a holding role. You see her kind of right in front of the back line, in front of Cross and Scheid. So I think maybe that could be an adjustment just to make sure that, you know, shore up some holes and make sure that the Episcopal midfielders, you know, when they get the ball, they don't have, you know, as much time to turn.
Casey's played a variety of roles at the midfield spot for GA. Has had some experience at holding mid, playing this year. Also a member of the varsity basketball team at GA. She, along with Heidi Cross, Taylor Weiss, three of the players for GA who were just extremely physical players. We saw that a little bit earlier with Taylor Weiss, but they can really lay some bodies around and are not afraid to do so. As Episcopal took over on the throw-in, Ellison will look to spring it ahead. She's got time to do so. Batisto shields that away. The loose ball, it looked like, was last touched by Episcopal. So that'll tee up a Ballenzora goal kick.
Yeah, good track back there by number 1, Batista on the outside there. She's, it seems like she's been doing her job really well, playing her role in this new formation really well. It's crucial that she track back like that with only 3 in the back because, her partner over there, Cross, number 3, she's occupied with a couple more players that are going to be making runs. She's not going to be able to look over her shoulder and account for that outside midfielder of Episcopal. So it's a really nice job there to track back by Batista.
Bolenzura's goal kick eventually won by Episcopal. GA does a good job defensively to win it back. Kalecki had a good first half. The freshman sends it ahead, hoping for Raven. Instead, it is Episcopal, and turning with it at midfield is Ava Roberts. That was off the foot of one of her teammates. Is now along the far sideline. Avery Lee looks to keep it in. Tried to chip it in the box, but that went out of bounds. With just over 34 minutes left to play here in the second half. Score is tied up at 0-0. Corey Miller along with Michael Von Zuben. For GA's now annual game of the week covering girls soccer. Been a good game so far. Neither team, though, has really been able to have an opportunity in which they almost scored. A few chances for Episcopal on corners, and GA's had a few through balls that they've able to take advantage of. As a possible opportunity arises now with good play from Goodrich, trying to find Hassan behind her. She was knocked down, no call, but Mia Raven does a nice job to step on the loose ball. Now looking for Goodrich, that went over her head. Yeah, and Episcopal takes care of things.
Good approach there from Goodrich, and a good adjustment, it seems, from Coach Nelson. Making sure the forwards are up and pressing, because, much easier to force a mistake like that in the back. And defenders, they're usually the ones that have time to collect the ball, survey their options, and make a pass. So, you want to do whatever you can to make sure that job is not easy for them. And Goodrich did a good job right there, almost created a good scoring chance.
Cross and Casey showcasing the physical play along the far sideline. No whistles as we have play on. Now it's Taylor Weiss looking to poke it ahead, going against Capozzoli. Has done a nice job as well. Now Casey able to knock it ahead. And we got a whistle. It looks like it'll be against her, so a free kick for Episcopal.
Yeah, free kick here. Just like to see the physicality from GA so far. Obviously as a midfielder, when you receive the ball, you're taught to, when you check to the ball, you're taught to look over your shoulder to make sure no one's coming. And when you know something physical's coming, you check your shoulder maybe a couple more times, and that just it does throw you off a little bit. I'm sure players won't admit it, but it certainly does. So good thing to see the physical play from GA. Hopefully they can keep that up.
Could be best opportunity of the game so far as Whitaker tees it up. Bolenzura tips it over the net on a great save from the senior goalkeeper. No hesitation from her. She knocks away the free kick from the freshman Whitaker. It'll set up a corner, but a great job from Bolenzura to take care of that shot.
Yeah, in that position, Bolenzura's got to decide, am I going to catch this or am I going to tip it? And not an easy decision. It's a bang-bang decision on a bang-bang play. So not a hard decision to make, not an easy play to make, but Bolenzura made the right choice there to tip it over. You get rid of the risk of producing a rebound.
Talked about it earlier, getting more and more reps in net as the season has gone on, and she's looking more and more comfortable. It might have been a save earlier in the season. She might not have had another nice corner that trickles right to Bolenzura as she gobbles that up. Two great saves from Bolenzura, the captain, as well. And she keeps things knotted up at 0. As Casey will find Kalecki at just about midfield, looking to bring it forward. Again, GA looking to find Alex Goodrich. You've seen that kind of plan of attack most of the game when they have the ball.
Yeah, and it seems like, obviously your goal is to feed Goodrich. She's, probably your best offensive player, and she's the one that's going to make plays for you. But, it seems that they're missing the one piece of the puzzle kind of in the midfield. It's really hard to go from defender or defensive midfielder straight to striker. you're probably not going to find too much success like that. So they kind of just need to find that piece in the middle, someone there who can receive the ball and kind of, serve as that next step to getting the ball up to Goodridge and Hassan or outside to the wingers.
Yeah, Hassan, a player who can play all over the field as well. Another captain, again, playing through injury, but whether it's defensively, the midfield spot, she can plug a lot of vacancies for GA, and she's done that today and all season. Second team All-Interact selection in 2019. She and Lily Funk were the two members of this GA team. Selected to all league teams in 2019. No selections last year due to COVID-19 and the shortened season. Again, last time either of these two teams played a full normal season was in 2019. GA finished 6-12-1 overall, 3-8-1 in league play. Is Grosso doing a nice job to shield it away from Lee. Again, they try to find Lee again as she taps it back. That is Cunningham with it. Big boot up to Ellison. Scheid does a nice job to take care of that. Hassan will move up to pressure Stickley, trying to force her out of bounds. That was off of Raven, though, so a throw in for Episcopal. Still tied up at 0 with under 30 minutes left to play in the second half. As it finds Grosso, now finding Raven. Episcopal stepped ahead with it. This is Ava Roberts, who has room to maneuver, sends one on the ground down low. Back up top, Ellison tries a shot. Batista trying to shield the player away. She was then knocked down as Boenzor scooped it up. That was Capozzoli, who she was shielding away.
Yeah, good communication there by Boenzor. It's always a tough play when, you got a guy bearing down on your back as a defender. The ball's, flighted towards the goal, and you got to know, is my keeper going to get it? Is she not? Am I going to have to head it away? So good job by Boenzor to talk there and come get it. Right decision.
Another opportunity for the senior keeper. She retreats into the box and handles it on a hop. You kind of pointed this out, Michael, but it looks like Sage Batista's really played a variety of roles today, technically playing midfield, but she's kind of shaded back on defense, has gotten involved offensively, playing a number of different positions for GA today.
Yeah, certainly deserves a lot of credit because that is not hard. That is not easy to do. Your legs tire pretty quickly after that first track back when you got to go all the way back down the field. So, tons of credit to her that she's been able to play defense and offense here, really. She's been up and down the field really well. So hopefully she can, produce a chance for herself or for someone else.
Opportunity maybe for GA. Goodridge in pursuit, and just kicking it out of bounds was Cunningham. And, again, one of the really impressive things about this GA squad is with the limited number of substitutions, their starters have had to play, at times, all 80 minutes of the game, and that is not an easy thing to do. GA kind of felt some of that fatigue last time these two teams have played, allowing 3 goals in the second half, but they're not feeling that pressure today. As Avery Lee showcasing the speed, Scheid steps in to try to take care of her. Lee, the freshman, has a number of goals this year for Episcopal. She's now going to try and drop it back. Raven looking to intercept, and that was off Cunningham, so a throw for GA.
Yeah, you saw the one-on-one defending ability for Scheid right there. Obviously when someone's coming at you with that type of speed and you know that she has that type of speed, you're kind of inclined to step to it and dive in, and then if she goes around you, you're kind of screwed after that. So really nice job to be patient there. I know I talked about ball pursuit earlier, but that is one of the situations where you have to make a judgment call, and the better call is to kind of wait back, be patient, wait for her to make a move, and then you kind of track her as best you can. So well done right there.
And Lee's difficult to guard against, had a hat trick against Baldwin. A goal versus Radnor High School, and actually led Episcopal in goals last time these two teams played, with 2 against GA. Episcopal has a variety of players who can get the ball in the back of the net as Grosso heads it out the back line. A corner kick for Episcopal. Capozzoli, a player who scored a variety of goals this year against different teams, had one against GA. We've seen Ellison get involved offensively. That's what will take this incoming corner for Episcopal. Quinn Whitaker, another young player for Episcopal to watch out for. She has multiple goals this year as well. As the corner is incoming, Batista gets a head on it. It trickles out. Episcopal looking to get a foot on it. It springs loose. And in pursuit was Episcopal. But they couldn't get there in time. GA takes care of another possible opportunity for EA, and they now have the goal kick.
Yeah, you've seen, especially even at the end of the first half, the corners, originally GA defended pretty well, and kind of each one coming after that, it kind of ball started to trickle around more and more inside the box. So an area that you want to make sure you shore up here for GA, because a ball off a corner could very easily take an unlucky bounce right to someone, or bounce right in the goal.
Well, Coach Nelson has said that they want to be competitive in the second half of the season. They've certainly been competitive today. Tied up at 0, 25 minutes left to play in the second half. Also talking with Coach Nelson, he said he's been surprised with how well the team's kind of been able to string together possession. And we brought it up earlier. He didn't think his team would be this good defensively. Certainly anticipating a good defensive core, but a lot of young players. Grasso, Scheid, both sophomores. Grasso made a nice head ball there to give GA the opportunity. But they've really been able to take care of a lot of opportunities, not only today, but all season. GA's prevented opposing teams from getting on the board. This is now Cauley on the throw-in. It bounces over everyone, but springing to it is Dente. Now Scheid in pursuit, able to kick it out of bounds. We are seeing those one-on-one abilities of Scheid. Has done a nice job at the center back position to pitch in. If anything gets past the outside defenders and kind of defuse any opportunities.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, not only that, but I mean, with the three in the back, it's she's certainly playing more of a central role. That's kind of her spot on paper, but has done a really nice job. Good awareness to know when to slide over, when to help her outside backs or outside midfielders, whatever you want to call them. And so you need the one-on-one defending ability, but also just the awareness to know when to slide and when to help.
And Michael, you've kind of talked about the wing position as a key for GA today, and certainly impressive that those players are such a part of this team, since the seniors predominantly play up the middle. So a lot of those wing players for GA, younger players, freshmen, sophomores, who've done a nice job this season. Here's a shot on net that goes wide. Bolenzura getting ready to kick things away. Sent it along to the near sideline. Episcopal tipped it. And they keep possession along the middle of the field now. Moving up quickly. Finding someone down low. It squirts loose. Scheid quickly kicks it up to Batisto, who is open at the 20-yard line. She now has it taken away from her as Episcopal goes right back on the attack. Julia Cunningham plays one off of Grasso. And now she tries to take it from Lee. Lee headed it forward. It finds Cross, who boots it out of play.
Yeah, you saw a bit of maybe a chance for a counterattack there from GA. But obviously that's tough to do when you're all bunched together, defending a cross or defending a driven ball into the box. So it's hard to balance those two things because, against a team like Episcopal, you obviously need to have as many people back at one time as you can. But at the same time, you want to be able to counterattack, but that's hard to do when you have everyone back. So, it's hard to find that happy medium.
You've kind of seen the sense of urgency for GA. Once they get the ball or take it away from Episcopal, they immediately try to get things up. Kalecki hits it out of the air, and playing it forward was Roberts. Casey this time will send it towards the sideline. Raven trying to keep it in. Pressure from behind, that's Lee. Raven shielding her away. Eventually turns and finds Emma Goodwin. Another underclassman on this team. The sophomore got a lot of playing time against Penn Charter. She does a nice job to find Goodrich, who sidesteps a few defenders. Alex Goodrich, room to maneuver, moving into Episcopal territory. Will slam on the brakes, knife one ahead. Batista in pursuit. A nice job by Episcopal defensively. Magnata able to defuse that opportunity as Weiss steps up, does a nice job. But that ball went out of bounds, so Episcopal will take over.
Yeah, good job there by Goodrich to kind of hold up the ball. When everyone's back, you need the striker to kind of not just necessarily take it and go forward right away, but, have the ability to hold it up, fend people off, give herself time to look at her options, and she did that well. So, look for more of that, and hopefully GA can get some guys up to help her out. It
was actually an offsides call against GA. Namoli, we've seen it a few times today, taking those free kicks in Episcopal territory. And then hopping to it there with Stickley. She shields it away from GA, playing it back, and then kicking ahead was Cunningham. Looking for her forwards is Scheid. Physical play here. Episcopal works it away from her, but they still have it. And now Lee against Grosso. Nice job by Grosso to win that battle. Again, Episcopal, though, through their passing, has done a nice job to maintain possession today. Here comes a kick from Cunningham, a nice chest from Casey to knock that one away. It squirts loose to Episcopal. Moving in with that was Ava Roberts. Scheid stepped up to take care of that on a nice play here by Colley. Now she's shielding it away from Kalecki, able to work it free. Falling down was Lee. Grosso's intended clear was put back in, and Bolenzura comes out of the net to make the save. 20 minutes left in this second half. We are still tied up at 0.
Yeah, I think at this point in the game it might be a sub that comes on that makes a bit of a difference. You know, you've seen most of the starters for both teams. I think we only saw one sub in the first half between the two teams. So, you know, we'll see what the coaches decide to do. But I think both teams, I mean, this game's going to come down to the wire. Both teams are going to be tired, especially defenders are going to be tired. So, you know, it'll be interesting to see the decisions that are made by the coaches, you know, if they're going to want to get some fresh legs in to try to produce a little bit more of a burst of energy or not.
Yeah, Avery Lee came in for Episcopal in the first half. Is right on cue, Mike. We do get some subs. Hassan and Sweeney come back in for GA. But Lee came in for Episcopal, has played most of the first and then second half. We saw Sweeney, kind of the lone substitute for GA in the first half, and then we've seen Emma Goodwin play as well here in the second half. GA hoping to maintain stamina. They've worked a lot on that throughout practice this week. Casey doing a good job defensively, and she blocks the shot there. It squirts loose. A tip here rattles just wide. Maya Bright was the one who took that all the way into GA territory.
Yeah, I mean, a defender like that, when you're with a girl like Maya coming at you, a defender, you just feel like you're on an island. You know, kind of no one around you. It's nothing but you, the player, and the goal behind you. So it's kind of, you feel like it's up to you, but well done there by GA. And she was able to, you know, kind of break her down and hold her off enough.
Right on the corner, Bolenzura is at a net. She's going to hustle back in as Bright could not keep that one in bounds. A lot of corner kicks for Episcopal. Good opportunities for them so far. GA's held tight defensively. Maya Bright, player who's multiple goals on the season, 2 against Baldwin, another goal against Hill, and 1 against Westtown as well. So 4 goals for her entering play. The freshman forward. So even though Episcopal's a little more tenured in terms of age than GA is, certainly have a lot of talented underclassmen, just like the Patriots do as well. This is Bright circling in, Cross a nice job defensively, and Raven turning with the loose ball. It was run into by Dente. Kalecki and Raven play catch as Raven makes a nice sidestep move. Will send one on the ground to Hassan, one touch to Sweeney, and that just eluded her, was a little bit behind her, but a nice passing play from GA nonetheless.
Yeah, I think probably the best combination play we've seen all afternoon from GA right there. We're really well done working it up from the outside backs into the midfielders and then up to the striker. That was kind of, you know, that missing that piece that I think they've been missing for a little bit of the game now, is that midfielder being able to take the ball in front of the strikers, which just kind of opens things up a little more. So well done there.
GA certainly plenty of speed at the striker spot. We've seen Sweeney showcase her speed, and Alex Goodrich, certainly a really fast player. Was on the 4x100 track team in the spring of last year, set a GA record for fastest time. She's showcasing her speed here, going against 2 Episcopal defenders. She wins the battle, looking to keep it in along the far sideline, continues to get it into Episcopal territory, but eventually Episcopal took care of the loose ball. Scheid played to the head to Casey. Now GA still in Episcopal territory, looking to maintain possession there and go ahead with 16 and a half left to play in this first half. An update on other games today. Boys soccer taking on Haverford at the Haverford School. They currently trail 1-0. Coming off of GA, coming off a 4-1 win against Malvern. Their last time out, but we are still tied here at Carey Stadium. Maybe originally a filling out process for both of these teams, but now you can just say really great defense from both of these teams to prevent the other from scoring. A nice ball here from Raven, trying to get it down low to Kolecki. Episcopal was able to take care of that. Orenstein circling now, and eventually Cunningham poked it out of bounds.
Yeah, you mentioned the other games going on today, and tonight, obviously, the big one, football. GA will be taking on Episcopal under the lights, 7 o'clock at Episcopal, so that should always be fun when you're playing on a Friday night.
Double whammy tonight. GA girls soccer taking on Episcopal, and then GA football taking on Episcopal tonight at 7, as you mentioned, Mike. Some substitutes coming in from GA there. Batista came back in along with Taylor Weiss. Again, Weiss, they're trying to kind of budget her time as she is playing through an injury, has played quite well.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it's shown so far for Weiss. Still going in physically on a bunch of tackles, playing hard, playing well, too. She's been very involved, so definitely the right decision to start her, it seems like.
Yeah, and again, very versatile player. Plays a variety of positions as Scheid takes care of the loose ball. Weiss plays for PA Rush outside of GA, her club team. Says her primary position is center back, also plays forward. We've seen her at midfield. And again, along with Batista and a few other underclassmen, now juniors, originally underclassmen, they've been a member of this varsity team since their freshman year. As we get an offsides call against Episcopal.
Yeah, I mean, it's been impressive to look just at the list. I mean, of the amount of players, especially, more noticeably, I would say, on Episcopal that play club soccer. A couple clubs, just to mention a few, like FC Delco, FC Bucks, in the, I believe that's the ECNL league, so a very, very extremely competitive league. Definitely these players will be prepared well for these Interact games in the school season.
We got a good game on hand with under 14 minutes left in the second half, tied up at 0. Orenstein stepping up to that one as Sweeney waited to play it, and she is called for offside, so a good thought from her on a very nice touch from Orenstein, but nonetheless Episcopal will regain possession. Namoli, the junior Ohio State commit. Again, several shutouts for her this season, as one going today, as does Bolanzura. Overtime should be in play today as we are in an Interact League contest. GA last did that against Baldwin. They tied them. As we are tied against Episcopal, GA playing it in the middle of the field. Stepping up to that is Kolecki, shielding a player off. Now trying to spring Sweeney in pursuit on the offensive end, and we get some late pushing there. That draws a whistle.
Should be a nice opportunity here for GA to get a good, solid ball into the box. Hopefully someone's able to get ahead on it, get the ball bouncing around, because obviously, the keeper for Episcopal, obviously we've mentioned her multiple times now, but, she's not going to let an easy one in, and it might even take something unlucky to get one past her. Hopefully GA can get a good deflection on the ball here.
It was Stickley on the foul. We heard Coach Nelson immediately yell Heidi Cross's name to take this free kick. GA looking to go ahead. Here comes the kick from Cross, spiraling towards the back post. And someone was able to get a head on it. Not sure if that was GA or Episcopal, but nonetheless, it heads out of bounds.
Yeah, and this is exactly what you wanted for GA. Multiple chances in a row, constant chances getting the ball into the box and make Episcopal head the ball out, get the ball out as many times as possible because, believe me, the probability of successfully clearing the ball goes down.
So that did hit off of Episcopal. GA on the corner as Goodrich teams up. Cross sends it right back in. Coming out of the net was to make the save. Loose ball still. Goodrich a poke at it. It trickles loose. Now Cross steps up to make a nice play. Hit off of Goodrich, though, it looks like.
Yeah, really good series right there from GA. Like I mentioned, just getting the ball to bounce around as much as possible. And I believe here comes another.
Oh, yeah, no, that was off of Episcopal again. Two nice balls there from Heidi Cross, Mike, on those last two opportunities.
Yeah, not easy to play consistent balls like that in the box. So, I mean, third one here would be more impressive. Hopefully she can get another one.
Here's a line drive kick. Episcopal gets to it first, so Grosso will have to step up. First one to it, but she's shielded away from the ball. And Stickley will kick it ahead. Battisto hustling back. Played it in the air, able to knock it backwards, but then Episcopal regains possession. As they cut it in, we'll play it back. Sweeney on the pressures. They work it out wide now to Cawley. Sweeney showcasing the speed. She was able to slow Cawley down, but Cawley again regaining possession, looking to switch fields. Right to Taylor Weiss, though, who finds Goodrich. Goodrich able to get past Whitaker, but eventually Episcopal takes over. Scheid steps up, sends it off to the right side. As now it's Isabella Casey sending one up. That finds Whitaker. Again, Casey able to block that one out of the air. Dempsey playing one to the outside. So after the GA opportunities, possible chance for Episcopal now.
Yep, definitely seeing the game start to open up a little more now, which is, that's what you usually see. It's quite typical for a game. It's getting under, now we're under 10 minutes now. So expect to see a little more of that back and forth action. Not necessarily, just kicking the ball down the field, but, chances coming at both ends.
Two teams fight for it at the middle of the field as Cross tipped the shot out of the back, so a corner coming for Episcopal. Bright has taken most of them. She'll take another one here. Three corner kicks from both of these teams combined in the last minute and a half or so. Jay will have to showcase the good defense, trying to stay even at 0. It hit off of Orenstein. Now Goodrich in pursuit. Trying to go on the counterattack is GA's. Episcopal will work it back all the way back at midfield. Getting it back is Cunningham.
Really good step from GA out of the back. One of the hardest things to do is to recognize after a corner when it's appropriate to step up, because obviously you want to force the other team off sides and also potentially create a counter. So really nice job there. The entire team stepped up and did not allow Episcopal time to get that second ball into the box.
Yeah, we've seen the ability from GA defensively to step up, to loose balls. If someone gets through, kind of shadow them defensively. As looks like Hassan and Raven back in for GA. Coach Nelson not wanting GA to take a corner. As such, Cross just dumps it out before the corner marker. Episcopal will get a throw. 8 minutes left to play. Coming now towards the middle of the field. Scheid saw that one coming, kicked it up. Hassan kicked it further, but it went to Episcopal for a shot. Bolenzor with the nice save to keep things tied up at 0. She'll now boot it away. One of the things GA worked on at practice is kind of getting up after Bolenzor makes a save, turning defense into offense. And GA was offsides there.
Yeah, they almost did it right there. I mean, if they would have, gotten an aerial ball from Goodrich there over the top without the offsides, I think that's exactly what you just talked about. It would have worked. So it's good to see some of the things that they've been doing in practice come through here on the field.
Namoli, who is already 5 shutouts this year, showcasing her ability on these kicks coming out of the net. Ellison, the captain. Now Raven fighting for it along the sidelines with Lee. Raven poked it out, so Lee on the throw-in as we get a substitute for Episcopal. Looks like that's Ava Roberts who's back into the game for them. Roberts is a sophomore, returning player from last year. Started there last year, starting again this year. Plays midfield and had a goal against Agnes Irwin, as Bright was looking to capitalize on the opportunity there, but her shot went wide. So after a fair bit of play in GA's territory, looking to turn things around. Had some good opportunities on those last free kicks by Cross, 2 corners and 1 free kick. Came close to scoring, but now it's Episcopal in their half of the field. That was Whitaker turning with it. It trickles loose to Battisto, trying to get one off. Does a nice job to do so. Heads out of bounds as Episcopal will quickly try to send one back in. On the throw, it's Dente playing it back to Cunningham with a nice kick to send one into the GA box. Lee turning around, playing against Grosso. It's been a good matchup in the second half so far. As Lee sent one back towards the center of the field. Kalecki fighting for it there. That was Dente again, as Bolenzura easily handles this Episcopal shot.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see the approach now, about 5.5 minutes left, and this is typically the point in the game where you might start to see a little bit of kick and run, trying to force the issue a little bit, but still enough time to possess the ball and work the ball up through the midfield. So hopefully, GA can kind of realize that and not necessarily start to rush just yet.
Cross does a nice job defensively as Battisto keeps it in. Now Kalecki fighting Cunningham along the far sideline. Able to slip it past Battisto, squirts loose, and they tip it into the net. Oh, man, with just under 5 minutes left to play, a loose ball squirts all the way through GA defensively, and Episcopal is able to get a foot on it. Not quite sure who that was, as Episcopal embraced the goal scorer quickly. But nonetheless, they lead 1-0 with just under 5 minutes left to play.
Yeah, I mean, nothing you can do if you're Bolenzura right there. It's an unlikely deflection. Honestly,
Yeah.
the defensive player was actually in a pretty decent position. There was nothing wrong with that. Just struggled to locate the ball for a split second, and that cost them. But just pretty much an unlucky deflection right there. But that is what happens when you play balls in. Stuff happen. Those types of things happen. And so GA needs to kind of do the same here and hopefully get that same type of lucky deflection.
Was about to mention how, or wonder if either of these teams' records coming into play will have an effect on how they might play things with the score tied up at 0. But now with Episcopal going ahead, we clearly would assume that GA is going to push offensively. Episcopal will kind of drop back, try and prevent any sort of GA goal.
Yeah, they're going to have to push the issue now, and those outside midfielders in the 5 across are going to have to play certainly much more offensively. Obviously not leaving too much space between them and their player and their mark, but the mindset is going to have to change a little bit now with about 4 minutes to play.
It'll be interesting to see what Coach Nelson does now. He changes formation a little bit when GA was down against Penn Charter on Tuesday to kind of favor a more offensive approach. Battisto steps to it, worked it ahead, but Episcopal will send it up forward. Scheid stepping up. Now it squirts to Casey, who annihilates an Episcopal player at midfield, and that draws a whistle. Well, we mentioned that earlier, Mike. She is not afraid to play physical soccer, and sometimes when you annihilate a player like that or have a big hit against them, it'll draw a whistle.
It will. Honestly, it's not a bad play from her. Probably a little bit too much force on the hit. Maybe got a little bit of a hip check in there, but you can't necessarily fault the aggression, but certainly a foul either way.
Certainly not. Good defense from Battisto. As that ball trickled out the end line, cross it looks like will take the 6. With 3 minutes left to play, GA needing a goal. It looked like we were heading for overtime, but with 5 minutes left in this game, Episcopal Academy capitalizes on a loose ball, tips it home. GA, though, not looking deterred, trying to go right back on offense as Episcopal sends it all the way out the near sideline. Grosso the throw, hoping for Kalecki. She was able to boot it forward. Casey now blocking the Episcopal through ball. They get it right back, though. Cross steps to that. Now Raven fighting for it, along with Cunningham, who poked it forward, but it finds Kalecki, who will spring one ahead. In pursuit is Taylor Weiss. She couldn't quite get there in time. Episcopal along the near sideline. Lee heads that one forward. Kalecki playing back to Grosso. A nice kick here. Goodridge is in the area, but Episcopal shields it away from her, and they maintain possession. Good step from Kayla Sweeney, but nonetheless, Episcopal will send it all the way up ahead. Bolenzura slides all the way across to her right to quickly intercept that one and sends it up ahead. Sweeney got a foot on it, trickles to Episcopal at midfield. Now over to Lee along the near sideline. GA needs an opportunity, under 2 minutes left to play. Dente on the loose ball. Ball in the middle that's headed just over the net. Good defense from Scheid. It looked a little dangerous there.
I mean, at the end of the day, she did her job.
Yep.
Definitely a little bit of a deep breath right there, or excuse me, I should say, we held our breath for a second, but she got the job done. So now we're going to see some typical time-wasting tactics from Episcopal.
No sense of urgency on Episcopal's part whatsoever. A minute and 5 seconds left in this second half. They will have the corner. Captain Ellison will be taking this one. GA needs to quickly get this one and go on the counterattack. Bollensor punches it out of the air. Sweeney's in the area. Episcopal got to it first, though. It is Sweeney now looking to get it past Episcopal. She does. Goodrich is open in the middle of the field. This is Weiss along the far sideline looking to get it offensively. Player goes down, and we get a whistle. GA fans not liking that.
Yeah, I don't necessarily blame them there. That was, looked like pretty fair play. Might have been something from behind if I were to look at it again. Obviously can't hit the player from behind, but tough call there.
Looked like something was brewing for GA. Weiss looked like she won that ball, and Goodrich was open, sprinting down the middle of the field. But Nimoy, with 15 seconds, will look to send this as far up as possible, diffuse any GA rush. Kalecki now has it quickly. He's got to get it ahead, but it heads out of bounds. GA looks to put it back in, but with 5 seconds, it doesn't look like they'll be able to do anything. As the buzzer sounds, and that does it for action here today. So a great game all around. We were all tied up until the final 5 minutes of action. Both of these teams playing some great soccer here tonight, Mike, and at the end of the day, you got to be really happy if you're GA. Obviously, you don't get the win, but you lost to Episcopal 4-0 the first time, now only losing 1-0. You're clearly showing improvement overall.
Yeah, exactly. Progress. I mean, progress is the one word that I think you take from this if you're GA. You love, obviously you want to get the win. That's always the goal in every game, in every contest. But you saw some of the things that they worked on in practice come through. You saw some younger players step up. You saw some good plays, some good combinations. So the only thing you can ask from them is for just to keep going to practice, keep working, and keep hammering those things down so that hopefully they can produce some more goals in the future.
Well, that'll do it for us here tonight. We want to thank a lot of people. First of all, girls soccer team and their coaching staff for allowing us to kind of follow them this week, and everyone here at GA, the communications department, athletics department, for doing a great job with these game of the weeks. So for everyone else, Mike Von Zubin, Jake Dirks, our cameraman tonight, this is Corey Miller saying so long from Germantown Academy.